started up again today. This time, following EX7's release, we'll be going over one of the coinciding structure decks. The first, obviously, being Structure Deck 18, Guardian Vortex, covering up the Pteromon line and Shoto from Digimon Liberator. Well, cracking into it, going for the sides, and opening up the tab. Well, going into it now with a cardboard protector. Oh, getting the main deck out, and also the goodie showcasing the playmat that comes with it. With it, showcasing off Webcomic and Pteromon, as well as pretty much being a guidebook for new players. Oh, cracking into the deck itself with the package including the main deck itself and the 6 promo cards. Well, let's start moving from the back, well, front to back, with the starter deck coming up with 4 copies of the structure deck Fluffymon, who grants allowing when intact, allowing you to suspend one of your other Digimon without, well, one other Digimon with as much or less DP as the stack itself. And then for rookies, we have the new structure deck Biomon. That's a green-red with Fortitude. Then, following that, is the new structure Falcomon, with the on-attack to suspend one opposing Digimon, and hang the two of, and reasoning for buying 2 structures is the structure deck Pteromon, who ends up being the searcher of the deck by top decking 3, and adds 1 avian or bird, and then grabs 1 Vortex warrior or Liberator trait. From there is the supporting rookie being the new structure deck Muchomon, who ends up granting the all turns when this becomes suspended. Well, when effect suspends this Digimon, whatever avian or bird Digimon or Vortex warrior gets an additional plus 3,000 till the end of opponent's turn, while granting piercing as the inheritable. Then on to level 4s, we end up getting the new structure deck Kiwimon, who also ends up being a vegetation trait at 4 copies, and has the on-play on delete to suspend one opposing Digimon. And for there, the new structured Kokotori with a blocker body and piercing inheritable. And then on to, well, the other 2 of that's sticking is 2 copies of the new structure deck Galemon. Has the security effect to play out Liberator trait with a play cost of 4 or less from hand or trash, and also has the archetype's Vortex keyword, and then grants, same as the structure deck Ptero, grants the stack plus 2,000 DP. And from there is full playset of the new of Digimon structure deck, grants who's a blocker body, and has the on delete to play out 1 avian, bird, or vegetation and plant trait. That's 3,000 DP or less from hand without paying cost. And then the other 2 of from the deck is structure deck Grand Galemon, who has the on play 1 Digimon to suspend 1 Digimon, and if this suspended one of your own Digimon, you get to play out a avian or bird trait that's 2,000 DP or less from hand without cost, and grants the same inheritable as we saw in the EX7 Grand Gale. When this attacks opposing Digimon, it also may unsuspend. Then from there is the new Structure Deck Pteromon. Has the on play to suspend down one opposing Digimon, then one other Digimon can't unsuspend. And grants Piercing as the inheritable. And on to level 6s, we have the 2 copies of the Structure Deck. The Fagamon, who's a Vortex trait body. Nope. Has a Vortex keyword. And has the one evolving. To suspend one opposing Digimon, well, to suspend one Digimon, then unsuspend one Digimon. Has yield turns. Once per turn, when any Digimon unsuspends. For this turn, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects and gets a +3 on DP buff. And to go with Pteromon, we end up getting 4 copies of Eaglemon, who is a Fortitude body and has the on play 1 Digivolve to return one opposing Digimon, one opposing suspended Digimon. And from there, going into Tamers, we get full playset of Shoto, the Structure Deck Shoto Kazuma, who is the memory user of the deck, and has your turns when any of your Digimon attacks an opponent, you get to suspend him to then change the attack target to another opposing Digimon or the opposing player. And then from there, full playset of Endemoy Embrace as the option, and at 4 copies. And for its main effect, suspends down one Digimon. And if this effect suspended your Digimon, it returns one opposing Digimon to bot deck, then allows you to unsuspend one, while also having the security to bot deck one opposing suspended Digimon. And for the boxer of the deck, we end up getting 2 copies of the new Structure Deck exclusive Green Memory Boost, showcasing Pteromon and Zafagamon. From there, we go on to the sought-after promos of the deck, from getting these structures, being one of each exclusive reprint of the training cards. Offense Training showcasing Vorvo, Mental Training showing Shu and Ptero, Physical Training also showcasing Shu and Ptero, Agility Training to show off Ptero and Mucho, Defense Training showing off Ptero and Gatsu, and then the cute Wisdom Training showcasing Ptero with Shumon. And then to back end it is the 3 ruling cards to help with, being a glossary of keywords. And that's it for the structure itself. Now on to, what you can make of with just 2 copies. For a preliminary build of the deck, for anyone starting out or just using the structure as a base, for the most part, the deck pretty much is more mid-range, as it practically relies around suspending cards on both sides and utilizing the Vortex keyword. So, going over the deck build right now, for the most part, obviously, the eggs are going to be 4 copies of Fluffymon, since it's pretty much the only egg you have between the 2. Full playset of the Searching Ptero, for obvious reasons, to pretty much dig through your deck. Full playset of the Muchomon, mostly as a DP battery, for lack of a better term, for when you hit it with your own effects. And then Falcomon as, one form of suspension. And then going over level 4s, obviously running full playset of the Galemon for the security effect, to pretty much be able to cheat out your Liberator stuff, pretty much being your Shotos and, currently only for the time being, the Pteromons, as well as being a body with Vortex. And then from there, to play into a little bit later into the deck. 3 copies of the Kiwimon for the on-play and on-delete to suspend down 1 opposing Digimon. And then 3 copies of Pteromon to grant your bot, to just have a blocker on board, while also granting any stack you build over it piercing, which plays into Vortex plays, and then going over level 5s. For the most part, obviously it's obviously going to be a full playset of Grand Gilmon for the ability to pretty much build into, well, being able to play out your smaller bodies to, well, be able to swarm board with different bodies that you have available in hand and play Digimon by effects. Like that, 2 copies of Pteromon as another blocker body, bigger blocker body, and being a body that's able to spawn back out being able to spawn smaller Digimon from hand on delete. Following that is 2 copies of Parrotmon to further interrupt. Granted, you only get the effect to do it for on play, though it ends up being a piercing inheritable for the deck as well. From there, going into level 6s is definitely going to be a full playset of the structures of Agumon as the main ace, being able to Vortex, and then being able to suspend down 1 and then unsuspend 1, and then granting itself Digimon effect protection and an extra plus 3000 DP, making a 14k body on its own without any inheritable additions. And then Tyranno Digimon being 3 copies of Eaglemon, as well, ends up being a, good place to start as the secondary level 6 for the deck starting out. Since you have Fortitude to be able to, as long as it has evolution cards under its stack, and gets to revive when it would be deleted, granting it to be able to trigger its on play and when digivolving pretty much twice if it ever gets deleted. And then from there, running off the deck is 4 copies of Shoto, just to play around with the chances of seeing it early, as soon as possible. And then for options, being the full playset of the included Green Mem Boost, and the 2 agility triggers that are included in the deck. These being the consistency pieces starting out with just the 2 decks. Green Mem Boost being able to dig for 4 and add 1 green Digimon, and then having the delay of gain 2 memory. While agility training is, why agility training is here is pretty much obvious due to how powerful the trainings are. As you dig 2, add 1 green card specifically, and then has the delay to pop itself to then allow 1 of your green Digimon to digivolve for a reduced cost of 2. And then to round out options, that ends up being 3 copies of Anamoya Embrace as potential security bombs, and as well as playing into as hard play options to play into your Vortex plays. But overall, the main deck has so many, parts to it, given that these structures do end up consisting of multiple parts. As well, besides its core mechanics, you pretty much get a lot of multi-attacks, and due to Vortex, as well as ensuring some of your stacks are able to survive battles that you do as well, given that Vortex is specifically a pseudo Russian blitz. You pretty much use it to just attack into suspended bodies on the opponent's side, and then pierce through, taking down security, pretty much whittling away until you could hit for face. But overall, the deck, well, as a structure deck, it's definitely a good investment if you think about it. Given that, well, even if you play it, you end up getting a good reward in the form of the, well, copies of the other trainings that you don't use if you aren't going to choose to keep them, as you pretty much get your money back currently for the time being if you end up selling off the trainings if you're not going to be keeping them for other decks. But overall, this has been my take on Structure Deck 18, Guardian Vortex from from the Digimon TCG. This is Cyberjaw, signing off.